Hi everybody, Carissa here with Inky Fairy Designs for the Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft blog. And today we're going to be working in my art journal, and this is the page that we're going to create. A lot of fun techniques here. I did speed this up quite a bit. I just want to warn you as we get working that it will be pretty fast, but I think you'll be able to see everything that's going on without watching a 20-minute video. So I pulled out Gelatos from the Valley collection. It's these bright super fun colors that I would never have put together on my own. You probably know I am drawn to more of the cool colors like blues and purples and teals. So these were way out of my comfort zone, but it was really fun to work with. I am working in a brand new journal. It's the Strathmore 500 series. It's a mixed media book. I gotta say, this journal is amazing. It handled so much wet media. And all of the layers that I put on there using the Gelatos colors and all of that. So very cool stuff here. I'm really happy and excited to work more in this journal. And the last thing that I want to point out is the texture gems. I had this idea to use these to build some texture before laying down any color on my page. I just wanted to try that out because it does leave like a raised texture. It's like a clear finish. And normally I use it on top of my projects when I'm all done as like a finishing accent. And I just thought, well, what if I try to put that down first, lay down some texture instead of going in with like stencils and whipped spackle or something. So it was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed this page. So I started off with a light layer of gesso. I always gesso my pages no matter what journal I'm working in. And then I pulled out an old book and just ripped off some pages to get some interest and text on my background. I really love the look of text on my background, so I just decided to put a few of these torn sheets around on my page just to kind of get me going. And I'm going to adhere those using the gel medium and opening up a new one because my old one was a little bit dry. It was totally at the end of the bottle, so it was time to whip out a new one. And whenever I'm adhering pages paper to paper, I always put my gel medium on my surface as well as the back of the paper that I'm adhering. This gives you a really smooth cover, like a smooth finish. It adheres better, I think, and you don't have any air bubbles. So that's just my preferred method of adhering any type of collage to my journals or canvases. And then I put always a wash on top of the gel medium, and then I heat set it with my heat gun. Next, I'm going to come in with a watered down wash of gesso just to kind of blend those bits of paper into my page. You know, it's an old book, so it's very yellow, and I just wanted to blend that in before I started adding any color to my page. So I dry that with my heat tool as well, and now I'm going in with the texture gems, and this was a lot of fun. So I'm just creating some random circles here and there on my page, doing various sizes, some bigger, some smaller. I'm overlapping a couple of them, and I'm just kind of going around and around with the tool, with the applicator pen, and letting that set aside and dry. It takes 1 to 3 hours to cure, 24 hours to completely set. So I did leave this page overnight, which is really hard for me. If you know me at all, I'm super impatient. When I sit down to create, I want to create from start to finish, which doesn't always happen, but this forced me to have an idea, set it aside, and come back to it the next day. And if you want to try this technique, you definitely want to do that, or at least give it 3 hours to set if you don't want to wait overnight or the next day for it to cure completely. So I took all 4 colors from the Valley collection and I just scribbled them randomly on my page. And now I'm using our mister tool to like spray some water on them, and then just using my fingers and blending all of the colors into the page, and I blend some of the colors together. This was a bit scary. I'll be honest with you. I was kind of freaking out at this point. I was like, these colors, I don't know, they're just so completely out of my comfort zone. I do love that yellow and the purple, which is called passion fruit. And then the yellow is called limoncello. And those are probably my favorite out of this collection. But I knew that I could trust that these were all going to work together. So when I'm working in my journal, you just power through, you just push through, you keep working, and the magic does eventually happen. So if you're looking at a page and it looks like a hot mess, just keep working. It's going to come together. So the next thing that I did was I took one of the stencils from our mixed media stencil sets, and I'm using a baby wipe to lift off some of the color. So it's kind of like using the stencil in a reverse fashion. One thing to mention though is that these are like paper cardboard stencils, so you want to be light with the baby wipe, and you risk kind of tearing them. So I just want to mention that. Next thing that I'm doing is I am highlighting the circles that I made with the texture gems, and I'm just coloring in the colors that like they were on top of. So where the pink was, I'm scribbling in some more of that color, spraying it very generously with some water, moving it around with my fingers, and then lifting my page up and letting those colors drip down my page. Sometimes I spray more water when I lift it up just to get those drops to move more, and I just love the way that the drips look on my page. So I wanted to bring some more texture and interest to my page, so I'm taking out one of the big Pitt stampers pens and just a background stamp. It's like a wood palette kind of background stamp. And I'm just stamping that randomly on my page, not using the whole stamp, just kind of pushing certain pieces down with my fingers. And that brown, it wasn't really popping or anything, and I didn't really want it to be super overpowering, so it was just enough interest and texture to kind of add a little bit something to the background. This part here, I came in with the Stampers Big Brush pen in black, and I outlined all of my circles, so I'm going over like the raised part of the texture gems. And this is where I found the sweet spot in this entire journal page. Up until this point, when I started adding the black, I was concerned. I wasn't sure where this page was going. I didn't know where it was taking me. But when I added the black to the circles, I found my happy place, and I knew that this page was going to go somewhere that I was going to enjoy at the end, I was going to be happy with, and I hope that you're enjoying it as well. So now I'm taking out some stamps. This is from a Unity Stamp Company set by Donna Downey. I'll have all of the supplies listed on the Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft blog. So if you're interested in anything that I used here on my page, just look over there, or you can contact me on YouTube and I'll answer any questions. And so I just took this stamp set. It had 6 sentiments, and I used them all because I had these circles and I was like, I want to put something in them, and each of the sentiment was something encouraging and spoke to me, and I thought that this page represented every single thing in that stamp set, so it was the perfect way to complete this set, or complete this page. So I wanted to darken up those circles, so I really concentrated on getting the black onto the texture gems part, and you can see that I'm able to really blend and spread that color around with my finger, so that's something that was really interesting to find out. Being able to use the big Pitt pens and be able to have that kind of blendability on top of the texture gems. And now I wanted to kind of highlight the inside of my circles. So I love the black, but I wanted to highlight the inside, just kind of around the sentiments. So I'm just taking a paintbrush and dipping it into the gesso. I tried the white pen, big pen stampers brush, but it didn't give me enough pop, so I ended up going into the gesso and just painting it on that way, and I really like how that highlights each of those circles and the sentiments inside of them. So I think that pretty much completes the page. Here are some close-ups of the final pages. You can see the texture gems here really clearly and how I highlighted it with the black Pitt pen. I think the bright colors against the black really made this whole page look gorgeous. I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.